This is your Fife Property market update for the week commencing the 21st to the 27th of September. So this is us taking a real look into what was happening last week across Fife. Now, this is where we take a look at everything that was new to the market versus everything that had offers accepted. We then take a look at what we were doing in particular as an agency, so what we have accepted offers on, what we have coming soon, and also what has now concluded, so we can see what properties are achieving, what types, what styles, and also what buyers are out there. We'll then do a run through of the shows that have taken place so you know what to go back and re-watch to get some brilliant information from. So as always with these shows, if you are a regular, feel free to put any comments or questions and we will come back to you. Even if you're not watching this live, we will still come back to you. Likewise, if you want to message privately, you absolutely can, or even pick up the phone and speak to one of us in the office. We are more than happy to chat with you. But this gives you a brilliant snapshot into what was happening in the market last week. So we're going to start with all agencies that use Rightmove across Fife. So this is your new instruction, so new properties that hit the market versus properties that have had offers accepted and they're now showing a sold subject to concluded missives. Now, we're coming to the autumn months, we're in autumn, so there's obviously a change in season, which naturally means there's a change in buyers and sellers' mindsets in terms of the market and when the best time to go to market actually is. Now, something that Perry and I, when we're going out and we are doing valuations, we are starting to hear, even just had it yesterday, well, I'm better now just wait until spring, aren't I? Absolutely not, because that is what everybody's mindset is. Everybody thinks, okay, I need to wait till next year now, which is when everybody's thinking to go, which means you have more competition on the market. So why, if you are selling your biggest asset in life, are you wanting to have the absolute maximum and the most amount of competition by waiting till spring next year? Absolutely not. You want to enter the market where there is less competition, less stock. And that tends to be when you can actually get more for your property because people know that one, they need to act fast, but two, they don't have as many options out there. So they really need to secure your property and put their best foot forward. Now, that's why we like these shows to give you an insight, because as much as I can tell you this, really it's the facts and figures that are actually supporting this, because gradually now we're going to see week by week, and especially when we do the monthly roundups, that what is coming to market is going to be less than what is selling. So it tells us, and we can see that straight away looking at last week's figures, there was 125 properties new to the market that hit that market for buyers out there versus 141 properties now showing as sold subject to concluded missives. So there is more buyers on the market than stock is coming to market, and that is what tends to happen autumn. It's the underrated season. Everybody's thinking to wait till next year, but this here in black and white is telling you why now is a good time to go, because you're going to get less competition, but there is still buyers out there. There was 141 properties that accepted offers just last week alone. Now, you're maybe watching this and thinking, well, how does that work? How does 125 hit the market versus 141 now showing as sold? It doesn't mean to say those exact 125 that hit the market are the ones that sold. Those 141 will be an element of previous stock, whether it's the week before, month before. Doesn't mean to say it's just that week's stock. So if you're thinking, well, that doesn't add up, that's not the case. You're 141 have obviously been on the market for however long they've been on the market for, but it just shows that there is active buyers out there, and you're going to start to see this trend week and week and week. And we always do say 1 week doesn't make a trend, but if you keep a keen eye on this show and these figures, you will start to see that difference and why now is a good time to go to market. So if we were to do a run through, for example, Cooper, 6 properties instructed, so only 6 single figures, which is low for Cooper, versus an incredible 16 properties sold. 16 is a high number that we've not seen in a while. So 16 properties accepted offers last week in the KY1415 postcode alone. East Snook, this is another surprising one. So 4 new instructions, which is about average. They float between 4, 5, 6. However, 12 sold is an incredible result. 12 properties had offers accepted on them, which is a higher number for the East Nuke, which is amazing. Again, since St Andrews 6 versus 6, St Andrews is quite good at that. Getting the exact same figure as what's instructed versus what's sold. Whether there's a trend in that and a pattern in that, obviously we would need to dig deeper, but that tends to be the one micro region where the numbers tend to be the same. But with that said, the 6 is low for instructed versus sold. So that is something that obviously St Andrews market is a little bit different at the minute, and it has been for a good few months in terms of what is selling and in terms of stock availability. Average selling time just now, if you were sitting in the KY16 postcode, bearing in mind that spans to Balmillo, Strathkinnis, like it's not just the centre of St Andrews, that KY16 postcode does have a wide span, but your average selling time is anything from 5 to 6 months. And especially if you have that higher price point, you're going to be teetering on even further. So actually the St Andrews market is all about having patience, realistic pricing, and an aggressive, proactive agent that is getting your property seen. Levenmouth 10 versus 9, good numbers, not that much in it. And again, Levenmouth is an area that is a strong performer in terms of the investment that was put into the area and the commuting links that were made available. So you do naturally see that Levenmouth continues to be a strong market. Dunfermline, now that is an anomaly compared to the other micro regions because you can see that with the numbers. That is average numbers for Dunfermline, nothing untoward there. It naturally is a higher turnover and transaction area purely because of you can get a lot more property for your money on this side of the bridge, yet you can commute to your Edinburgh and your bigger cities. So naturally people gravitate towards Dunfermline for their home if they are a professional worker or tend to be in the city. Glenrothes 21 versus 11, slightly higher instructions than what we normally see, likewise slightly less than what we normally see as sold. But again, 1 week doesn't make a trend, absolutely not. It's just giving you an insight, and that is something we can keep an eye on. Kirkcaldy 22 versus 28. Kind of average numbers for Kirkcaldy. Again, nothing there that is out of the ordinary. Between Glenrothes and Kirkcaldy, they're a bit like Levenmouth, that they are an area that people gravitate towards purely because you have the price points, affordability, availability of stock, you have amenities, you have all of your schooling links, you have commuting links. So actually, there is a lot of the market that appeals to a lot of buyers, whether it's first-time buyers, investors, landlords, families. It really does appeal while having everything on the doorstep. So naturally, that is an area that people gravitate towards. But that gives you an idea of the areas and actually what the market is performing like. So that gives you an insight. However, if you are thinking of selling, or you were thinking of selling but not until next year, pick up the phone and speak to us. We'd be more than happy to give you further insights and to discuss your property journey and why now is a good time to go to market, because we're going to continue to see figures like these. So that is what was happening in the Rightmove all agencies last week. But I know obviously buyers out there are keen to see what we have been doing as an agency, even sellers out there, because it gives you a great insight into what is going to market, what is selling, how long, what kind of offers. So this gives you an amazing insight, but we're going to start with the properties that we have sold. So let's pull up the first one. Now, straight away, you can see that this one was not on the market long, and it does tend to be. We've had a lot of properties like this within the KYI area that are within that price point, that it appeals to first-time buyers, investors, landlords, people upsizing from perhaps flats, and they're now moving to properties like these. And then it's in an area. This one's up the Broom, for example. This one is Woodlands Crescent, so this is up the Broom. It is a sought-after area. So we do tend to see great results, but we have had some brilliant results in the KY8 postcode, sold from social media, sold in 2 days, 3 days, sold in a week, and we were achieving that just again. So this one was a 2-bedroom, 2-reception, semi-detached, extended property on a substantial plot, and you can see that there you've got this garden to the front, large driveway, further chipped area here, garden space to the rear, a garage, and you were getting 2 bedrooms, 2 receptions, so it's a big property for offers over 130,000. So it's still an affordable price range, and a fantastic property, as I say, in a great location. Now, obviously, the seller is delighted that we've got them a result in 1 week. Obviously, over the home report value, we can't disclose at this stage what offer was accepted because it's just started its conveyancing process. However, it was over the home report value in a week, and the buyer is delighted with their new property and securing their home. So that one was Woodlands Crescent in Leven. Now, there was buyers that missed out. So if you have a property similar to this within the Broome area and you are thinking of selling, or not even thinking, you are selling, reach out. We can get Perry out to you. We can give you your accurate value to discuss the marketing that we need to do for you to get your results just like that. Final one was a property in Newborough. So this was Towerwell High Street, Newborough. It was a 2-bedroom lower apartment situated on a popular buy-to-let area, close to all of your amenities. You've got the school and you've got the transport links, you've got the parks. It was a fantastic opportunity for an investor to expand their portfolio, because actually this property was being sold with tenant in situ. So it meant that the tenant was happy. She was getting to stay within her property. Likewise, the seller was delighted. There was a landlord that was obviously able to offload, but likewise, the investor is also in a win-win situation because just secured a property, so they're increasing portfolio, but they already have a long-standing tenant, so they don't have to do any of that legwork. It's just a case of changing things over, and it's obviously there's more to it. I'm making it sound so simple, but it really is as easy as that. This was on the market for offers over 80,000. So that one was a great price point as well. As I say, we can't disclose what it went for, but at least that gives you an insight into obviously price points and how quick things are selling. So that is what we've sold. Next, we have coming soons. So this is properties that Perry and I have been out to value and are going to be coming to market with us. So this is giving you a great insight into what to look out for on our pre-portals on social media. Now, the first one is Pickford Crescent in Cellardyke. Those that knows the East Nuke and know Cellardyke know that Pickford Crescent is a desirable area. It's a desirable street, but very rarely do properties come up. So when they do, they get snapped up. We had a brilliant result recently with another one on Pickford Crescent, and people missed out on it. It was a stunning home, so I'm excited for this one. Now, this particular one is a 4-bedroom semi-detached, and it's on the right side of Pickford Crescent. And when I say that, I mean you're on the side that gets stunning sea views. So from your bedrooms, you get sea views right over the Firth of Forth. It is an extended property. It's been renovated. It is stunning. It's a fantastic family home. Wait until you see the open plan kitchen dining space. You've got bifold doors leading out to your garden. And then, as I say, you've got stunning views and you've actually got a gate at the rear, so you get direct access out. So it's great if you have young ones, you have pets, taking them for walks. This one is going to be a popular one. I know it. It is beautifully presented and it's an ideal family home. It's a 4-bedroom. You've got your large driveway. It's Pickford Crescent. It's sought after. You're close to a primary school. You're close to the high school. Proximity to St Andrews. You can commute obviously via Leven for the trains to the cities. So it is going to be a popular one. Now, the pre-portal for this one is getting done next week, so you don't have to wait long for it. Make sure you're following the eSnoop page. Call the office to get yourself registered. But I know this is going to be a popular one. Next one is Meadowside Road in Cooper. Again, this is a family home. This one is a 4-bedroom detached. It's got double garage, driveway, beautifully landscaped gardens. It's got a living room space, dining room, kitchen, utility, conservatory, ample storage throughout. It's got a large landscape garden that is completely private. You're not overlooked. It honestly is a fantastic property. Just keeps giving. There is so much on offer with this home, and it's Meadowside Road. Again, it's a sought after area. It's where people want to be with families and bring up obviously their young ones. So again, the pre-portal is taking place next week for that one. So again, you don't have to wait long, but make sure you get yourself registered so that you can act fast when you do see the pre-portal. Next one is Kirklands Park in Cooper. This one is a 5-bedroom detached property. Yes, it's 5 bedrooms, but there's an additional room that does make a study space. It could also be a nursery if required, but there is also then a further reception room. You've got a great big dining kitchen. You've got not just one, but 2 bathrooms. And wait until you see the attic space that you could easily convert into a bedroom if you wish, or like a games room, children's room, home office study. There honestly is so much on offer. It is an incredible one. And it's got a large driveway. It's got beautifully landscaped gardens. It's really well presented. So that is a fantastic one, and that is Kirkland's Park. Again, you don't have to wait long for it. You can keep a lookout on our obviously Cooper page for any further details on that one. So next we have completed. So this is properties that are going through the conveyancing, they've now concluded, and the new buyer has moved in. So we're able to disclose what offers were accepted on them. So your first one was Links Place in Leven. This was a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2-reception and terrace cottage, finished to an incredibly high standard, beautiful original features. It's a sought after location because you really are just a stone's throw from the beach, walk around to the golf courses. And this one sold for £243,000, so 3,000 over the home report value. And the buyer is delighted to be moving to the area and having everything on their doorstep. Next one is Pitcroovy Park, London Links. This is a 2-bedroom, 2-reception, semi-detached bungalow, tranquil lifestyle in a sought-after location. And this one got a fantastic result. There was also buyers that missed out on this one, but this particular one got 15,000 over the home report value, which is a fantastic result. So it sold for 160,000, and the new owner is delighted to be moving to the area. Naturally, it's London Links. You're absolutely spoilt with location. Next one is Cooper Road in Leven. This one was a 2-bedroom, 2-reception detached property on a substantial plot in a countryside location. You've got the countryside views with a brilliant mix of sea views, many original features, off-street parking, extensive gardens. And with this one, you're actually getting a fantastic opportunity to go in there, add instant value and put your own stamp on it. So this really was a fantastic opportunity. Now this one sold for £9,777 over home report, just to be precise. So it got 209,777. So over the home report value, fantastic result. And the new owner is looking forward to moving to the location, soaking up the lifestyle, the views, and making that house their home. Final one is Greengates in Leven. This was a 3-bedroom mid-terrace property, moving condition, bright and modern interiors, enclosed rear garden with a summer house, so a fantastic addition. And this particular property sold for 5,000 over home report, so it achieved 135,000. So that again was a fantastic result over the home report value, and the new owner is delighted to be upsizing and moving into their house. So that is the activity that we were doing in terms of last week. And finally, before we wrap up, we're going to take a look at what shows were taking place. So the first one was the Wealth Creation Show. As always, on a Monday, you have Jim Parker, one of the UK's most successful property investors, and Richard Cook, our lettings director. They always do the Wealth Creation Show with a new topic. And Monday's topic was getting things done. And the art of doing in business is the ability to effectively execute a strategy, turning ideas and plans into tangible results. While a strong strategy is absolutely crucial, it is the disciplined and consistent action of execution that ultimately determines your success. Obviously, if you want to get some hints and tips and take some brilliant skills that are absolutely vital for businesses of all sizes, from startups launching their first product to perhaps large corporations, and how implementing long-term strategic plans could be absolutely crucial for your property. Now, as I say, you had Jim Parker and Richard Cook on hand discussing, so you can go back and watch that live. Likewise, you can still put any questions or comments and they will come back to you, or you can click the link and read through the blog. Another show that was done was with Perry and I. We did a show regarding buying a home in Fife. And does it feel risky, or is it even riskier waiting, and the true cost of waiting? So that was where Perry and I discussed over the last 5 years how actually you could have potentially, if you're still sitting in rented, lost money because you're missing out on positive equity and you're paying rent, obviously contributions, with not very much to show for it, if anything. So actually how waiting can cost you a lot more than you think. And then a final show that was done, and this is great if you are a landlord out there, or perhaps you're considering starting and you're looking to build up a portfolio, then this is all about choosing a great tenant and how to actually pick the best of the best. So this one was, again, Richard Cook, the lettings director, and Karen Marshall, the lettings agent. They were discussing on actually how much hinges on choosing a great tenant for your rental property. Their behavior and reliability will directly impact your cash flow and naturally your state of mind. And actually, how your final choice will be one of the most important decisions that you can make as a landlord for moving forward. So if you want to take, again, some hints and tips, you can watch that show. Likewise, if you've got any of your own experiences or case studies, feel free to share and they will come back to you. But that is an idea of the shows that have taken place, just so you can go back and rewatch. But that is another market update. If you have anything that you wish to discuss, comment, pick up the phone, messages. We're more than happy to chat with you. Failing that, I will see you next week for another market update. All the best. Take care.